with this. Millions of dollars and civil suits and the amount of resources that were wasted, particularly for this. If we know Mission Local did some great reporting earlier today, shout out to the Mission Local reporters working hard. I would say particularly they came out with an actual report about how this cost the city tens of thousands of dollars in the staffing for the police, right? We also know that it cost $70,000 to fix up the minibus that was tagged up as a result of, the youth that were encroached upon by the police presence. Imagine if we had actually just spent the money on sanctioning this event. If we had actually spent the money on having, if we're talking about, let's say conservatively, $100,000, we could have had a fully funded event with vendors, with community, with professional skateboarders coming to the table. This would have actually been an economic development opportunity that could be revitalizing our community and our city in a time where we need this most. Instead, we're wasting money on overtime for the public defender's office and the juvenile department to actually come in and have to spend money and resources into, contacting the youth, the amount of public service that's going to go into now the investigation. And so it's just a complete waste of dollars that we're using on this. So that being said, I want to bring up my colleague and friend, Jeffrey Kwong from the Harvey Milk LGBTQ Democratic Club.
Thank you so much. On behalf of the LGBTQ community and the Harvey Milk Club, we want to stand unequivocally for an independent investigation. We have heard zip from the Department of Police Accountability. All we have heard are the same refrains from the police department, from the chief, that they have been investing money into community engagement, training police officers in de-escalation tactics. If there is one community that the police should be dealing with in exercising caution, in making sure that they de-escalate, they don't go from 0 to 100, drawing rifles, running down the street with batons, rubber bullets. If there's one group that the police should be trained to de-escalate, it's with the youth. And there's no excuse that 80 some odd of them were arrested and kept without due process, with their constitutional rights impinged upon. And we want action from the police commission to open up this independent investigation. Gone are the days when the police can come in riot gear and military-grade equipment to deal with a civilian population that's unarmed in a public park in San Francisco. Thank you, Kevin, for organizing. Thank you to Supervisor Walton's office for organizing. And we look forward to having the police show us all the videos. Not a snippet, not part of the videos, but we demand all the body cam footage to be released.
Great, thank you, Jeffrey. Now, next I'm going to bring up Rachel Letterman to speak. I know she's been working with a lot of the families and the youth.
Hi, I'm a civil rights attorney. I've been speaking with dozens of the families of the youth who were arrested, as well as some of the young adults who were arrested. I'm horrified and appalled that SFPD saw fit to conduct this type of sweep mass arrest in which children as well as some adults were simply blocked in, had no opportunity to leave. Many never heard an order from the police or were trying to comply when they were corralled, kettled into a block, and then held for hours. I'm disgusted that children were held on the street in the cold, without bathrooms, without water, for hours. And I'm continuing to be more and more appalled every day by the fact that there's been no definitive statement from the district attorney or juvenile probation that these cases are being dropped. The families are being told all different things about that. Some of the youth are still being forced to come in for appointments with a juvenile program, parents having to take off work, kids who've never been in trouble or who have, with these serious charges hanging over their heads. Some of those of us with legal background know that it's extremely unlikely that these cases are going to be charged, but the kids and the parents need to be told that the cases are being dropped so that they don't have to continue to worry about this, and they can work on healing from what was a terribly traumatic experience for a lot of these youth. And I am meeting with a large number of the families and discussing civil litigation to challenge these the unlawful arrests and unlawful conditions of custody.
Thank you, Rachel. And next up, we're going to bring up one of the Hillbaum moms who was not allowed to see her baby during this time. I'm going to bring up Lisa.
Hi. My son was actually having dinner with me at 8 p.m. on Saturday, July 8th, with two of his friends. And around 8:20, he said, "Can I go see my other friends? And we're going to take the scooters and we're going to go across the city." We live very close to Dolores Park, and I did not know about the Hillbaum. So I said, sure, normal. We were having conversations about college and all of this. He's 15 years old and talking with his friends. They got on their scooters. They went down 17th because that's where there's a safe route. They had their helmets on. They got to the crowd, and at that point, there was a row of policemen. They asked the policemen, "Where should we go?" And the cop said, "Go that way." So they went that way, right into the riot cops, where the riot cops grabbed the three kids, and this was at 8:45 p.m., 25 minutes after I saw my son. They were detained. They were told to stay. They were not allowed to call us. They were zip-tied, and he was forced to stay with a group of kids, this very large crowd of kids, until 1 o'clock in the morning. No jackets. He had his jacket on that he had with him. No bathrooms. Kids were peed in buckets. Girls peed their pants. No water, no food. At some point, they were forced to stand up, and at 1 o'clock in the morning, a Muni bus came and took them to be booked at the police station. Still no call. I had no idea where he was. He was supposed to be home at 11:30, between 11:30 and 12. And that's when I became frantic that I didn't know where my son was. I did see at that point that he was at 17th, so I thought his phone had been stolen, and then started going down the phone list of trying to find out where was he, because he wasn't responding to my text. Then I saw his phone was moved to the San Francisco Police Department, and that's when I became even more scared. At this point, still no call. You know, all the parents down to the police department waiting to find out what's happening with our kids. And at 3:15 is when we get a call from the police department to tell us that we can come get our kids. That's basically what happened. That's the repeat story from many of us parents. I understand there's a story for every kid that's different, but no kid should be treated like an animal. No matter what you feel about what happened, no matter what you feel about what happened, no child should be treated like an animal. And the San Francisco Police Department has policies to treat juveniles a certain way, and they did not follow those policies. We need to investigate this. Why didn't they follow those policies? Why did they not follow de-escalation tactics that they have been trained? Why did they not shut off the other roads? They had a whole year of planning. They've been planning this for a whole year. We need these answers. We need these questions answered. We deserve this, no matter what you feel. And I understand a lot of people have different feelings. Yes, we do. So anyway, thank you very much. Please, understand that I understand that there's multiple sides to this, but hopefully as a parent and as a civilian in San Francisco, you would want to know what really happened that night.